Good morning, Stampers. It's Becky Hahn at Becky's Stampin' Studio at blogspot.com. Today I'm bringing a fold that has fascinated my customers that have been to class, and we will be doing this, I haven't just decided which version, at my Fun Fold class next Wednesday and Thursday, September 22nd and 23rd, I believe. This is an explosion card. This is the one I did with our Penguin Playmates and Penguin Place stamp set. This is an original Becky version, by the way. I saw these directions from, again, one of my lovelies, Julie Davison. She had done hers in a peach motif using that wonderful peach paper, and I'll be showing you how to fold it on the peach paper. This one uses our Penguin Playmates DSP that's only available till the end of this month as a celebration item. I fussy cut one of the penguins out of the paper. I've used the dies, the scalloped contour dies. We'll talk a little bit about what's the difference between this scalloped contour die and our Stitch So Sweetly stitched scallop dies. So, anyway, there's two different ones. And I've embossed that with our Wintry 3D. This is a mini embossing folder, 3D embossing folder that's in the annual catalog. And it has these little snowflakes in it, and then it's got pine branches. They were on back order, but I think they're back in. So then I've closed mine with a little mini Velcro dot, and then it explodes. And I call this a new version because I've done explosion cards for years, but this is not one that I had done using designer paper. We frequently use just copy paper, what have you. And then in the center, you can decorate it any way you need to. So let's get started. So we're doing a DSP, which is abbreviation for Designer Series Explosion Card. And I call it new. You'll see that on my blog. I'll have to find the old version. I really do like this. It's so much fun to use some of our colorful paper that you probably have a lot of already. What you're going to need is a base. This is a gate fold, but it is a regular piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You can see once you get the piece in there, it doesn't lay out flat. And this is a gate fold. Now, I have chosen on my gate fold to put a piece on and close it with the dimensional. Julie and several others that I've seen like to use a belly band. I'm not a fan of belly bands because I don't like to give two-part cards. And then they have to hang on to the belly band and fight with that. So I have added a label instead, but it is essentially a gatefold, and I'll show you how I do that here in a minute when I put a complete card together. So you're going to need a base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You need DSP, Designer Series paper, for the explosion piece inside, and that's 4 inches by 8 inches. I said I was going to do, and I'm going to show you how to score all this, this piece. This is a 4 by 8 inch piece, so this is what it looks like. So no, you can't use 6 by 6 paper. It's going to be too short. The outside, that's the decoration on this one for me, is 1 7/8, two pieces, 1 7/8 by 4. And then that inside square that goes into the explosion, if you want to do it, is 2 1/2 inch square, 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So those are the items you need. You can always stop the video and write these down, or go to my blog and everything is there as well. Okay, so the first thing I like to do, and this template, thank you, Julie Davison, again, you can see I've given her credit there, is also on my blog. You will also get it in class. You will also walk through it with me in class. This is, and I probably should have written at the top, and I don't have a pen handy, but I do have a Sharpie. This is the 8 inch side, and this is the 4 inch side, okay? So we're going to take that, and we're going to score. I will put that back up there at the end. Okay. Get my cutting blade out of the way. Here's 2 inches. Let's see. I want to make sure you can see me doing this. Okay, 2 inches. Scoring blade. Careful. This is paper, not cardstock. 4, 6. Just butt it up against the edge of our stamping paper trimmer. Okay, so you have 2, 4, 6, 8. Usually one side is a little easier to see the scoring than the other. Then you need to, so this is 2, 4, 6, and 8 over here. Now you're going to make big X's crossing 4 inches. Now I may not be, I get down there and dirty with my head. So let's see, I am going to flip it over because I think I can see that score line better. And so you put it in the track, make sure you've got your scoring blade, and you go here. And my apologies, there we go. And we go here. Now, if that isn't your bag of tricks, here's another way you can do it. If you have a long ruler, Stampin' Up! Used to sell these. I still use mine a lot. Okay, let me see. Here's my crease. There's my point. Get your bone folder. You might be better off on a magazine or something cushy so you can see it. And then we go, I can see it here, from here to this corner. So if that's more your style, you can use your bone folder and a long ruler, okay? So now what we do is, I thought these little peaches would be cute on the inside. So essentially you find your creases. She said, there's one. And you're folding it to the center. Grab your bone folder and crease it well. And then you go to the center. There are score lines here, so it makes it easier for me to crease even with DSP. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold in these inside edges. Origami at its best, ladies. You want to kind of make this as much of a point as you can. And really, really burnish that. That's what we call it when we break down the fibers so that it works well. Okay? So there's one half. Sometimes we've made jumping frogs, if you remember, if you've done some origami. Okay, now we need to go to the other side. You can open that out of the way. And you either fold on the score line or actually match it up here. There's a score line here that we're going to totally ignore. You're going to put your square on top of it. Okay. And then once again, very typical origami, you're going to fold those two sides in. Before I try to crease, try and get a point. And there's your explosion. So when it gets closed down, it closes like that. And that's how it goes into your card. Okay. Now, if you decided you like the other side, you can just refold it. Okay. Now, you also notice that it's not exact. No big deal, ladies. It still works. Okay. So that's our piece. So today I am going to, oh, and then, I'm sorry, just so you can see. So then on the inside, you need, I'd use a white one, but I wanted you to see the contrast, the 2.5-inch square when you get ready to work. And I like it 2.5 instead of 2 5/8 or something so that you can still see some of the pretty paper around. Okay, so I am going to use some of our gorgeous fall paper that is called Blackberry Beauty. It's on page 45 of our mini catalog. I will say that right now it's on back order, but it's still orderable. It will be in the end of the month. Also with this suite is some gold vellum, if you decide to get the whole suite. It's a shimmery, can you see that? It's gold, gorgeous. I've seen it used in at the pine cones. It's really, really pretty. And the paper is a lot of rich tones. I'm using this piece for my explosion. So one side is specialty and the other side, and they're using birds and owls. That has a little bit of gold in it. And then it's rich raspberry. I'm using this piece too. It looks like oak leaves to me. I love it. I love it with the acorns and stuff. And then the back side is getting a blank. My book will tell me. Cinnamon cider. Okay. And this could work with your Nature's Harvest as well. Here's one with the birds. This is more a rich raspberry. Oh, and the back side is rich raspberry. Here's another one. There is a stamp set that goes with this that I have opted not to get at this point. And then the last one, this is a really neat specialty paper. You actually cut it down the center, and then you have two halves. I should have grabbed the card that one of my gals did in club. I'll post it. And you can cut it into 6 card fronts. And see the gold. Oh, it's just beautiful. And then again, we have a combination of rich raspberry and the blackberry bliss. There is also gold ribbon. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Great for holidays. Unfortunately, I know this is on back order and is not orderable, but it will be in, I think, in October. And the other thing I'm going to use today is the ephemera, depends on how you pronounce it, pack. And this is this little set right here. And what it includes, and when we couldn't get the paper early as demonstrators, I bought the ephemera pack so I could see the colors. There's gold in here. These are tags or punch outs. Here's one with the oak leaf and an owl and tags and all kinds of both flat, matte, and that's, I punched out of this because I'm going to use it, and gold elements. There's really pretty gold die cut laser tags. Some of mine have fallen out. Really cool. So I'm going to use a couple of those on mine today. They're fast, they're gorgeous, and a lot of fun. So here is my Blackberry Bliss. To make a gatefold, to be quite honest, my gals know, I just prefer to stand up, match the cut edges, and squash. But to get it a little more even, put it in at 2 1/8. Oops, get this cutting blade out of here. 2 1/8 score. And this time you're on cardstock, so you can run it back and forth a couple times. Crease on that line. And when you score, what you're doing is breaking the fibers so it'll bend easier. So when you go to fold something that's scored, you fold away. Just a little tip there after all my years. Okay, so that does that. And then what I do, I have a tendency when I score again that sometimes I have a gap here, and I don't want a gap, especially if I'm putting in a white piece of cardstock. Then with dark, you're going to see it. So what I prefer to do is take the second piece, butt it up next to it, hold on tight, and then you can see where it matches really nicely. Okay. Then I think of my directions for the penguin one that's on my blog today. I've gone ahead first and added my 2 pieces of designer paper to the front. And yes, I did plan ahead. I don't usually like to create on the fly, so to speak. Isn't that gorgeous? And I felt like I had a choice between the Blackberry Bliss and the Rich Raspberry. So there's basically my card base. So now I need to grab, and I did this ahead of time because it's dark and I thought it was going to be too difficult for you girls to see what I was doing. So here's the piece that I folded using the directions, just like I folded the peach piece for you. Now here's how I would put it inside. Fold this down. Those of you that know me know I don't use the multi-purpose glue very often, but this is one of those times where I would, because I need the opportunity to, okay, that's why I don't use it. Decide to give up on me. And it's not going to come. All right, well, let's hope we have enough on there that I can slide it around. You're going to put this on point. Let's get where you can see me. And I like to do it in the center. Okay. And while you're doing it, you want to make sure that those cut edges are going to meet. Okay. So crease that well. Let's see. I would use let's see if it'll come out. Of course not. I've only got about 12 tubes of these. Then you're going to put it on the pointed part, and you're going to bring that cut edge to the cut edge of your card. Can you see that? And I'm not straight. See, that's where the glue would be nice. There. Okay. And now, do you see the little gap in there? That's to give it the spring it needs. At least that's what I think it is. So don't expect it. Can you see? The point is not, the piece is 8.5 inches and your piece of paper is only 8. So it stands to reason. Okay, let's see. We'll match that up again. Okay, with a cut edge. And close it down like so. Okay, isn't that cool? Little bulky with that piece with the foil on it, but look at it when it opens up. Love it, love it. Okay. So to finish it off, I have the square, the 2.5 inch square. I actually cut the vanilla square for it, but when I decided to use some of the ephemera, whatever you want to call it, it's white, so I had to go with white. I cut one of the scallop rectangles from the scallop contour dies. This one has the scallopy version, this cool small tag, stitched scallop in several sizes. This scallop is bigger, okay, than the other one. And I guess it looks like on my penguin, I used this size. I cut this one, which I may go back and change that after we get this done because I want to see as much of the pretty paper as possible. Then you have the Stitched So Sweetly stitched scallop dies. This has a really small scallop to it. So if you like that look, which is what I did, this is another card we're going to be doing next week. It's a side pull-out card. That's got a smaller scallop. So it just depends on what you prefer. Okay, so back to this. So this is cut out of our brushed metallic cardstocks that are in the holiday catalog. These are carried over from last year. So you need to attach, and I'm just going to use my temporary adhesive here because I probably will cut this down. Okay, so half of it. Okay. And then I decided to go with, remember some of the ephemera from the ephemera pack, Mix for Quick Cards. The other thing I would recommend is when you run through our metallics through, I forgot to grab a newer top plate. So it etches the cardstock, especially these coated foil cardstocks. So that gives me a chance to either cut this down or cut it again with one of my newer plates. I do keep new plates handy. Okay, so let's see. Just because I probably will replace that, I'm going to use temporary and put my punch out here. And then they've got some cool tags, and I'm going on the fly here. I'm using a stamp set that's called Heartfelt Wishes, and it's words from the holiday catalog. Merry Christmas, happiest holidays, much gratitude, sending love, cheers. And then they've got, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. However, they didn't send the label, at least I haven't found it yet, for these. So let's see, I'm going to try two different. See, here's my Becky on the fly. This is the longer one. I've grabbed my Blackberry Bliss pad, and this is so thin, I'm going to add, notice I'm not squashing, girls. Okay, let's let's see, which way does the label go? Let's go this way. See, now I can't see what it's saying. Oh, we'll just take our, it's not on there yet. Oh, much gratitude. All right. They don't stick as hard without the sticker, but they do stick. So let's try this one. I think this one says sending love. It's a little shorter. I guess I better make sure. Yep. This one appears to have a right and left to it. Sending love. Boy, that looks almost like black, doesn't it? And let's see, which one do we like better? Sending love. Ooh, I think I like that one. Okay. I would probably pop this up with dimensionals, which I do have here, but since I'm going to see with my removable what I could do. My removable is Dado that we used to carry. Oh, that doesn't need to go down. Okay. I do want to put a little Velcro dot. So what am I going to do here in the center? Let's see if I've got, yes, I do. I've got a neat little embellishment that I can put in there and leave. And then you can stamp a message inside. So here is our pop-up explosion card. This is the one that I just finished. I really like it. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. And then here's the one I don't know. We may be doing in class next week. I always have the fold. Sometimes I redo them. And this is our little penguin place. Oh, and the balloon comes from the sheep dies. Love it, love it. So there you have it. My video, another one. I'm having fun doing these, can you tell? So give it a try. Send me your samples. And be sure if you'd like to learn these in person to sign up for my in-person class next week, either Wednesday afternoon, September 22nd, or Thursday evening, September 23rd. Great. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Happy stamping.